is Tipperary 4-23, Waterford 25 points. First blood to Liam Cahill in his rivalry with Waterford, of course. He managed Waterford for the last few years, did exceptionally well with them, of course, won the league title with them last year and had them looking like All-Ireland contenders. But following last year's championship disaster, really, for Waterford, I think it's fair to say, Cahill jumped ship to his native Tipperary, something which he said he wouldn't do, and thus the rivalry is now there between Waterford and Tipperary. Jake Morris hit a hat-trick in this game as Tipperary secured the top spot in the group. They are now into the final four of the league campaign. In the final 15 minutes, this is where Tipperary pulled away. Jake Morris completed his hat-trick in that period as Waterford were outscored by Tip by 3-8 to 6 points. Jamie Barron was also sent off in this period. I think one of the key things we have to say here, Austin Gleeson had been fantastic for Waterford coming off the bench. This time he started and Dan McCormack did a superb job on him. Not only did McCormack do a superb job on Gleeson, he also set up Jake Morris for Tipperary's first goal of the game. That was in the 8th minute to make it 1-1 to 4 points. Calum Lyons then hit 2 points in a row for Waterford, but then they failed to score from the 14th minute to the 34th minute. And Tipperary hit 8 points in a row in this period, with Gerard O'Connor leading the way. Waterford did hit a little burst before in the second half. 113 to 17 points they led by, but then Tipperary took over. And in the 55th minute to the 58th minute, Tipperary hit 2 goals and Jamie Barron was sent off. Jake Morris hit the first of those 2 goals and Conor Bowe hit the second. Patrick Fitzgerald came in for Waterford, definitely an absolute star, not only for the future, but for right now. He came in and impressed, but Jake Morris's third goal, completing his hat-trick after a brilliant pass by John McGrath, that proved to be the killer blow for Waterford. I think another huge plus for Tipperary is how much their defence has improved. Michael Breen at fullback, and then on top of that, Johnny Ryan, both look to be fantastic finds in that full-back line. And for Johnny Ryan as well, when you consider that, Cathal Barrett's injury, it's massive that, Tipperary find a good replacement and Ryan looks like that man. For Waterford, honestly, the Davy Fitz second coming, so far, I'm not really too impressed. I know that obviously it's the league and championship is where it's going to matter. Like Waterford looked untouchable in the league, and then in the championship they looked very beatable. So yeah, it's and that's putting it nicely. So this time for Waterford, they are looking a bit susceptible in the league. Like Dublin, we should have beaten them in the first game out, and that was in Field. They've beaten who they should be beating, really, apart from Dublin, and then they've lost to the big teams. So I think for them, I'm not sure that Davy will be happy with how the league has gone so far, because look, a lot of people will say, oh, like it's a league, and look at what happened last year when Waterford won it. Like, does anybody really want to win this league? No, Davy gets a bounce when he comes in. Every time he's taken over a team, you think of Waterford in 2008, his first year with them, they reached the All-Ireland final for the first time in so long. Then he takes Clare and immediately a bounce and they win the All-Ireland in 2013. Then he takes Wexford, an immediate bounce, and they win the Leinster title in 2019 and come so close to making the All-Ireland final in that year, and they could have gone on to win it that year even. Like, he gets a bounce out of every team that he goes to, and now he's gone to Waterford, and we haven't seen that bounce yet. We haven't seen. I know it's so early; it's only 4 games in, but I don't think he'll be happy with where they're at right now. Personally, I think that he would have wanted to see a little bit more from them at this stage. But look, for Tipperary, I don't think Cahill could be happier. 100% record. They've looked fantastic, particularly against the big teams, particularly against Kilkenny. I thought they looked awesome. And then in this game against Waterford, definitely first blood. The championship clash between these two is going to be seriously, seriously entertaining.